All right, everybody. Game number 1 between Naventic and Blaze. And, well, Blaze is currently doing their normal, like, jump around rotation again. And it's like, we're going to trick you. We ban that Artanis. And we're like, no, you don't. So they might actually ban that Li Ming for real because Naventic has showcased that they want to play Li Ming. They are really strong at that. Fan is playing, like, a pretty solid wizard there. And yeah, with the Li Ming ban now, Naventic, of course, I mean, this time they're up against a little bit of a different beast than from the last best of 3 series. We're currently at the semifinal of the winner bracket here at the end of the Storm North America final bracket. And we are still in the winner bracket, of course, so the team that loses here will drop down to the loser bracket, but still has another chance. The patch is 16.5, so Rhaegar can't heal himself anymore. Blizzard officially confirmed as a cat company, hating dogs. Especially, of course, when you puts it how Greymane and Rhaegar were banned out. Or like nerfed. All-State Mayhem. Cheers, bro. Thanks for the sub. And yeah, Naventic actually like waiting quite some time with the first ban here, which is interesting. They haven't banned Zul against anybody. I could see them maybe with a ban on Zeratul if they feel that Blaze is going to pick Zeratul first. Naventic themselves, they have really played a lot of Zeratul actually, but they switch it around. They want to make sure that they don't go up against Falstad. First of all, Mighty Gust is just annoying, isn't it? And second of all, it's also that mobility. Once that you have 3 temple or 3 altar events happening, it's getting a bit nasty. Blaze, there's like 3 big heroes, I would say, that we could talk about right now. Greymane, Zeratul, we could see Azul. Mirrodin is actually this is a very C9 approach. I don't think that they will go into a Mirrodin. I could see a team like Cloud9 go into a Mirrodin first. They've shown that before. But for Blaze, I really feel like going into Azul would make a little bit more sense. A Thrall is also pretty decent, even though I actually would assume that they go into it. Forbes, thanks for the support, bro. Zagara is not really a first pick anymore. I'm actually thinking they're just falling around right now.
I'd like to take this time to make a few shout-outs. First of all, like to shout out my boy Thomas, my boy Christian, Brandon. I want to give my boy Jamal a shout-out. I call him Yarul. Shout-out to my boy Schmidty, Sam Huff, Dunby, Tim Lang, Mark Valencia.
Well, you should hit that, dude. Shout out to you. Mirrodin really picked first, and Thrall Greymane as an immediate reaction by Naventic. So that Greymane, first of all, catering towards the damage again, and it also shows that they do not really like to go into Zul, as we've been saying a bit before. We don't have a Zeratul pick at this point. Blaze, right now, they have Mirrodin already, which is, of course, a great frontliner for them. Zul could be a lockdown for them. Keep in mind, these guys really love to troll, right? So when we're, looking at these, picks and they're starting to switch something like a Cho'Gall and take them with a grain of salt, because chances are they're going to rotate away from it. Zul already taken. They've played with this a bit before, but the setup is overall quite interesting. The focus on Mirrodin this early in the draft is something that we have seen from a few of the American teams, as I said before, but not really from a lot. It's most like a Cloud9 thing, and Naventic has also sometimes put a high priority on Mirrodin. But for now, Blaze really committing to a first pick on the front line. And I mean, he is definitely strong, but there are a few alternatives that you can use. We have Rhaegar now taken for Blaze. And this is actually catering towards a little bit the priority on Rhaegar still. Ancestral can't heal you anymore, but if you keep yourself in a position a bit farther back in the line, then you are still in an amazing healer with great chain heals. And of course, also then the lockdown thanks to the totem and everything else that you bring to the table with the lightning shield. Zul already with Rhaegar and Mirrodin is making Blaze's setup very, very melee heavy. So they are really focused on the front line as is. Naventic, when it comes to ban, could ban out range damage. It's definitely something that Blaze is at this point still lacking. And one of the things that you have to be a little bit worried about. When we're talking range damage, Falstad is already banned out. Zagara for map vision, yeah, banned, okay. Zagara banned. Actually not quite what I expected here. I could have seen a couple of bans in this case, maybe even a ban on a Jaina, for example. Zagara didn't really expect that here. Blaze is thinking about banning a Leoric, first of all, because they run a Mirrodin here. ETC is always scary. Naventic most likely going to head into a Johanna with the setup. Since I really expect ETC is going to be the real ban, and yes, that's actually the case, because, well, we've been talking in the series before already about that mosh pit, and it's just extremely scary. So Naventic in this case is just saying, okay, well, we would like to play that, but Blaze banned it out. Again, Johanna is a very solid option right now for Naventic. I suppose that you could also head into Stitches here if you really feel that it adds value to your setup, but I'm not necessarily sure if that would be the case here. Naventic, first of all, they need also, like, they need a healer. They have played with a Malfurion before in the setup. Oh, Tyrael. Tyrael is actually, like, quite interesting right now. Tyrael, and what are they going to play with that? I mean, they have with Greyman already a good damage dealer. They would need a bit more. Like, Tyrael, you usually don't play Tyrael as a solo tank. Normally with Tyrael you go into the second one as well. And with Tyrael you suddenly open up a couple of other options though. You don't necessarily have to go into the Johanna, even though she's still strong. But you can add a couple of, like, you can basically kind of add any tank. A Tacit already chosen. Alright. That keeps them very flexible, by the way, on the last draft. If they go into a double support, then they can play Tyrael as a solo tank. If they don't and play Tacit as a solo support, then Tyrael would do very well with having someone else at his side. And not only Thrall, but committing to a real one. Blaze, again, like showcasing the Cho. The problem is that if they really go into something like a Cho'Gall, just like iterate like the issues that you have with that, is that Gall would be your only range damage dealer. We've actually seen commitments to Cho'Gall on other maps. I haven't really seen them in competitive play on Towers of Doom yet, but on maps like Infernal Shrines, for example, or Tomb of Spider Queen, we have seen quite a bit of Cho'Gall, so you can play that. The risk is always that your opponent is going to try and play around you, especially when there's like multiple objectives on the map, which is usually why you don't see Cho'Gall on a map like Dragonshire, and why on Towers of Doom I have seen him once in an A, but I'm not really sure if it's like the best map for him. I guess it can be, but it's always a bit tricky. They go away from that, not really surprised here. I mean, they have been teasing that Cho'Gall already for quite some time, but we could see that Zeratul. And I could really see that, because Zeratul has been a great asset in the NA meta. The problem is, it's not a range damage dealer, and that would mean they only rely on Tyrande for their range damage, which makes them extremely melee heavy. So, as much as I like Zeratul as the setup, especially with the way that North American teams play, I really feel having a bit of range damage would be nice, and Jaina, I would really like her. Because what Jaina really offers is get burst damage in with Zul Void Prison, Muradin stun, Tyrande stun, and Jaina. This is like a sniper combo. Like, it doesn't get any dirtier than that. Like, this is the dirtiest sniper combo that you can imagine. The only thing that you could maybe, like, get in as well is maybe go ahead and do something like play, I don't know, like even more burst damage. As I said, Naventic, I don't really like the Tyrael with a solo support, solo tank situation, but with a double support, definitely worth it. So double support Tyrael, that works. That is definitely very solid. They have really nice support also in the sense that they have a Divine Shield for Thrall, which works. They have with Tassadar with a preload on the shield, or a vision on the map. They have great sustain. They can help Greyman if he jumps in as well. So they have good poke, and that setup really works. You don't see Tyrael too often as a solo tank, but he can definitely work out, as I said, if you have a double support. And it's not only that, they have also the Thrall next to him. In a solo support setup, Tyrael is very, very rare as a solo tank, because with only one support in the backline, you usually see him at least comboed off with one additional tank. But now that they see the setup that Blaze plays, they basically say, we need two things. A, we want to have a cleanse. B, we want to have a Divine Shield. Because we need burst heal to make up for all the damage that they are trying to put on a single target, with Zul running the Bone Prison, with Tyrande going for the stun, Muradin with a stun, Jaina with the double Blizzard. So we need cleanse first of all, to cleanse half of that out, and we need burst heal, and Tassadar doesn't give that to us. So we need to add a second tank, a second support in this case. So I'm liking the setup that Naventic plays against this a lot, especially since Tyrael, of course, can use the Sanctification against that wombo combo as well, and especially against like Jaina's damage in particular. So Naventic setup is actually like very cool against what Blaze is currently trying to draft here. But then again, let's find out which team is going to take it here. Naventic versus Blaze, Towers of Doom. Let's jump into game number one. Game number one, ladies and gentlemen, between Naventic and Team Blaze on Towers of Doom. To the left side of the map, Naventic with Zuna on Thrall, Kenma on Uther, Fan on Greymane, McIntyre on Tassadar, and Erho on the front line. He's playing Tyrael. To the right side of the map, we have Claudeus playing for Team Blaze on Zul. We have Big Impact on Jaina, B-Kid on Muradin, Jason on Tyrande, and Yu is playing Rhaegar. a pretty cool setup actually for the two teams. Once again, that last pick on Uther was actually like very, very strong here for Naventic, trying of course to prevent those snipes that the entire setup of Team Blaze is currently aiming for. They're really trying to just like snipe targets down with Murder and Tyrande, putting also the Bone Prison into use on the side of Zul and giving that Jaina something to take down as well. I'm pretty curious to see how they're going to play that out. And so far, actually, Erho is not going into... Oh, he's the first target that they're trying to burst away. And he's able to escape for a moment. But then the Bone Prison hits. And that's exactly the big, big problem if you're going up against this combo. This is why Uther was so important. Because the Divine Shield and also the Cleanse on level 7 and level 10 are going to be so important with this. And yeah, like, this is exactly what we've been talking about. Interestingly enough, we have a level 1 Purge Evil now taken, so they have a bit more damage against heroes. I really want to see if he goes for the cooldown reduction on level 4 as well, or if he just says, okay, with all of this, I need the amplified healing. I need to make sure that I really stay alive long enough. So that's one of these things that we should probably see pretty soon. But the rotation is happening, so it's a bit of a different setup for the teams. We currently have a 1-1-3 on the side of Naventic, and we have a 1-4 on the side of the opponent. Oh, and the second kill against Erho. He's trying to get the kill against Beacon, actually, with the stun combo. Oh, the explosion, but they get Zul instead. It's a 1-for-1 trade. So basically at this point, what Naventic more or less accepts is that they are going to lose heroes if they're really locked down properly. And what they're trying to do is to just simply go for a counter kill. As long as you get a kill yourself, it's totally fine. But in this case, as already mentioned before, like the setup with the 1-1-3 basically just makes sure that Naventic is trying to soak experience in all of the lanes because they know that they can't meet the rotation of their opponent. And it's literally impossible in the early game. The entire setup that we're seeing for Team Blaze is designed to take heroes down early on. You lock one down, you burst them away, and that's all that they're currently trying to do. So with this in mind, you don't try to go for a rotation against them because you know that if you face them, you are going to fall. The first 2 altars are already there, and that's exactly what we're seeing right now. 4 is going to be interesting, as I said, especially for Tyrael. I want to see what he commits to. Yeah, it's the Amplify Healing. Of course it is. What else would it be? You're not going for the cooldown reduction here. The teams are both going for the channels right now, so it's going to be an exchange. Well, at least it would have been, if not for the interrupt with the Owl. But Zuna should be able to get the channel through the second time, and yeah, makes it happen. Shots are fired, and now we're going to see both cores on 36 points. That being said, we have no level 4 talent just yet on Tassadar. Iacona, is it you? Goes for the Oracle here. Okay, so we're going to have actually mental acuity with the cooldown reduction, more vision, so you see them coming. We have also Jailers taken again. We're seeing, as we already had before, Pierce for Tyrande for the interrupts against the channels on the altars. That makes a whole lot of sense, of course. Also, in the case of Rhaegar, Totem build, lockdown attempt again. There comes that damage from Jaina, so that's always what we are, of course, going to see. Jaina trying to get the damage in there. And that actually works quite well for them. Uther decided to go into the protective shield. I mean, you see where this is going. This is more or less just both of the teams saying, okay, first of all, like the red team says, we're going to burst you away, and the blue team says, we're going to try to prevent this by all means. And they're jumping in for their own kill now, and that's Tyrande going down. Well played by Naventic. They know, of course, that for them, if they can get a few kills, this is going to be all they need. Protective shield, but Uther is dead. Yeah, well, Uther down. So that is, yeah, it was, again, an exchange in kills. So both of these teams at each other's throat from minute 1, which is pretty cool. I actually like that a lot. On level 1, we also saw now the Lingering Chill, and we have the Snowstorm here. Eat my Owl. There, Erho is immediately being hit by that, but down to the bot lane, we have another altar that is going to be announced now. So, well, right now we have Fan already like taking care of the experience here. They need level 7, and they need it bad. Because we are having level 7 already ready for Blaze with Ratma's Blessing. We're seeing the Frostbitten now taken here as well. And we're having Battle Momentum plus Lunar Brace. So everything is really catering again to that snipe combo. With now also Carla's Embrace, but there we go. Cleanse now taken on both sides, and that's the important part. That's the first big move that we're seeing for Naventic that they can make against this combo. And of course later on, Sanctification is going to be another big one. But oh, Zul in trouble already, needed to move away. And you can really tell that with level 7 already, we are starting to see a bit of a problem here for Team Blaze. If they don't get their snipes, then they are in trouble. Here comes the snipe against Thrall, but they jump in and nearly the kill. Oh, Fan! Oh, the heal from Rhaegar is there. Fan was close to taking him down, but not quite. Kenma with a channel again, and once again, shots coming in. But this is really Naventic starting to kind of master the situation a little bit. Cleanse is really helping them with it, and also, of course, Carla's Embrace. If you have that, then you are more or less guaranteed that the target that is going to be bursted down has a bit of a shield there. But this is really important. I mean, everything that they have is really designed to keep heroes alive right now, and they have the damage as well. Especially, of course, on Thrall, especially on someone like Greymane on 2, and this is going to help them. Battle momentum for Tyrael is going to be a big factor as well, especially with the Sanctification and later on. It's going to be one of the great talents that they have here to really make sure that in a big team fight, especially with Ring of Frost, they can make something happen and make sure that the damage is not going to come into play. What's going to be interesting, though, is how they're going to deal with the Poison Nova. Again, yeah, Kenma, wrong path. Sorry, buddy, but yeah, that did not work out. Moving into 4, I mean, he didn't see that, didn't have the vision on all of this, but yeah, this move that he just made there, this little rotation, that cost them 1 hero. Again, Poison Nova is going to be interesting, because I still believe that Poison Nova is going to be taken. We've seen Skeletal Mages earlier taken once as well, but the Poison Nova in this particular setup is going to be pretty strong, since especially Uther, he doesn't have too much AoE heal or anything. I mean, he's mostly relying, of course, on his wave as well, but it's not going to be enough to really heal out the Poison Nova, so that's going to be a bit tricky. So Poison Nova is definitely going to screw with them a little bit. I hear like Charism or maybe like even a Tranquility Malfurion is a bit better for that, but in this case they kind of needed Uther, of course, also for the Divine Shield, which is going to be an important factor. Another important factor is also that we have level 10 versus level 9 now, and that early heroic ability is of course a huge asset now for Team Blaze. We have no Poison Nova. Skeletal Mages instead, so apparently like too much respect for the shields here. Not quite sure, but Skeletal Mages have actually been chosen. As is, though, with level 10s, no matter what it is. Oh, actually, they try to interrupt. Who is there? They have their level 10s now as well. Sanctification, they have everything ready to go for the fight, and they are looking for it. They're looking for the battle, and they're starting to jump in. There's already the Shadow Stalk being used, though. But still the setup. Everybody is waiting in the middle right now. Their abilities trying to go for the potential kill here. And who's going to engage first? All of the rules are up, except for Shadowstalk. Yes, the lockdown. Here come the Skeletal Mages. Sanctification has been used. They are ready for it. And they are starting to jump in, but Ancestral Healing keeping B-Kid alive. And now there's a bit of a problem for Naventic. They're all incredibly low. Aho jumps into the backline. Nice Sundering. They're trying to go for Rhaegar, and they get him. Rhaegar is down. The Blizzard comes in. Kenma is low, but Jason is about to fall, and it's the triple kill. Muradin is still there. B-Kid was thinking for a moment on jumping on Kenma, but he healed himself, and now is the only one who actually gets away together with Zul, who already moved into the mid lane. Nice move by Naventic here. They get another barrage up against the core, and that's 28 versus 36 now. And of course, getting these kills also gave them another slight lead in experience that they can carry now into the mid game. We're having up at the top lane still big pushing again. Rhaegar is going to move over to take this wave as well. Getting lane soak in is one of the most important parts of the game, and every single time that you see like a wave like this, trying to get those few experience points is important. Kills, of course, on the other hand also. Not quite sure exactly Kenma died to Muradin alone down here, but that shouldn't have really happened. I mean, in this case, Jaina didn't really seem to be even there, so that's a little bit awkward. But yeah, this should be death number 3 actually on the side of Uther. Yeah, Uther dying 3 times. 2 times on Tyrael, but of course he's the only frontliner, so you can't expect him to eat a lot of damage. But Uther definitely falling quite a bit here. Oh, nice! Heroic ability already used. The problem is that Rhaegar might still fall. Yeah, there comes also Fan. He's trying to jump in. Sundering being used. They commit a lot, but they actually get the kill. And Jason missing the stun here. Jason being attacked now too. In comes Jaina. Aho jumping away. Nice fight again for Naventic. It's a 5 versus 4 at this point. It was a little bit chaotic with like people trickling in from every angle, but still nice move here for Naventic. They get the entire defense up. By now we have also, in terms of talents, both of the teams heading straight into level 13. And it's actually looking pretty sweet at this point for Naventic overall. They have like another altar on the map that they can go for. Level 13 is going to be another powerful talent for them. So let's see if Naventic is going to be able to get this altar as well. Because right now we have at least a bit of a positioning advantage for the opponent, for Team Blaze. They are in at the bot lane a bit faster, but Zul is very much out of position up here at the top. They're trying to go for him. Gladius gets away. and they are actually thinking about just going through the wall. Do they let that altar slide? Doesn't look like it. Aho was very, very low and nearly taken out. Yeah, he needs a few heals, he desperately does, but there's the force wall already. They could have channeled that altar through, but they didn't. They wanted to go for the kill. They didn't leave anybody behind. 13 talents are much, much faster now for Naventic, but they might lose Uther again. Uther has the Divine Shield himself. Thrall already going for the Spell Shield, and they want Tyrande. Tyrande is attacked. Ancestral keeps her in play. But in the back line, we have once again a lockdown against Fan. Sanctification. Not sure if that was really needed in this situation. I'm actually a bit surprised that Arrow used it there. Not quite sure what exactly negated, what triggered the ult here, but I really feel like maybe it was maybe a bit of a misclick. I might have missed something, but like Jaina didn't get the damage in. I didn't really see a Ring of Frost in this position either, especially since she went for the Water Elemental. That would have been a bit awkward. But yeah, there's the channel now, and this is Naventic actually suffering some damage on their own core, even though they were a talent up and during the entire fight. So yeah, in this case, Imposing Will has been chosen, by the way. We're seeing also the Shrink Ray. 13 versus 13 talents now, and with that we have the Overflowing Light for Tyrande. So a bit more sustained during all of these fights for Team Blaze. And this is a very different ball game, of course, from what we've seen Naventic play earlier. Right now they are up against a much tougher opponent. Blaze is definitely giving them a bit of a run for their money. 6 kills against 5 right now, and with level 13, it's also going to be quite interesting to see what exactly Zul, for example, goes for. I mean, it's not going to be the Giant's Curse, I suppose, here. The hit points on the heroes at the front line just don't really cater towards that. So I'm a bit curious if he goes for the skeleton. Yes, he goes for the skeleton build. So it's, again, Corpse Explosion being taken. We have also the Earth Shield. No cooldown reduction on the heals here either, just Earth Shield being taken. And, well, besides that, we still have both of the teams trying to go for the experience. Like, control of the map is incredibly important here. It's even more important than putting damage on the opponent's core. A very good example is that if you are actually behind in the game and you win a couple of team fights, going for the boss might not be the best idea. Even if you can get a free boss, it can be better to just get experience by dropping structures and getting more map control for you. So once again, we're having chased and healed by the Ancestral Healing there, keeping Tyrande alive. It's one of the priority targets for Naventic. Nice! That was a well, it was a bit unfortunate the Divine Shield was used at the same time as Sanctification, but the Sanctification was very solid. Like, that was a really crucial point, keeping all of them alive. Of course, that also means that a lot of the heroic abilities are now on cooldown. The only one who didn't use it yet was actually like Muradin, who still has access to his avatar. But with Tyrael running battle momentum, he can try to work that cooldown down, and he's at 40 seconds now as we speak. But at the bot lane, we have another wave cleared, because in the middle of the map, the next altar is going to spawn very soon. Erho actually trying to sneak a camp in, but that's not going to happen. McIntyre already helping out with the vision here. Mental Acuity, of course, more or less a lifesaver in this situation. Oh, talking lifesavers, Muradin actually locked down, needs to be super... Oh, Zuna. Zuna taken down here, and that's of course the worst time ever. At this point, the altar spawns, and well, what you gonna do? You're in a 5 versus 4. You're gonna let that go, of course. You should let that go. Okay. McIntyre, can we call him the king of jukes now? First he jukes with his own dimensional shift, the Bone Prison. Then he jukes the stun from Tyrande. Then he completely jukes out Muradin. Like, he's basically like Bruce Lee right now. Be water, my friend. Be water. Well, he definitely is. Like, he's the untouchable at this point. Still, shots fired against Naventic. And Naventic is now all of a sudden in a position where they are behind in core points. There's a camp stolen away. They actually get it. But are they going to lose Rhaegar for a Shrink Ray being used? They can go for the body blocks. And yeah, Rhaegar, I'm sorry, dude, but yeah, you're down. They're kicking the dog, quite literally. Zuna comes in, and he's still angry because he just died a few minutes ago, so he just like moves in and like slams the Chain Lightning into Rhaegar's face, and that hurts. Level 16 now, Numbing Blast used for Jaina. We have besides that the Skeleton Mastery now taken too for Zul. Again, the rotation happening, starting to steal a few camps away now as well. Holy Ground, of course, plus Concentrated Blast, and Benediction over... Aho is gonna get away now, is he? Oh, well, maybe not quite. Sanctification. Aho. Yeah, he's gonna die. Like, I actually think he wanted to jump to his sword, but the problem is that he disappeared just at the moment when he was trying to go for it. So, yeah, that didn't really work. He bought some time, I suppose, but that is time that they couldn't really capitalize on it. I mean, maybe if they get a tower there. So another 27 seconds until the next altar is in. They have to keep everybody alive up to that point. But Yeah, Naventic is starting to... I'm not going to say fall apart because it's definitely not the case, but they are really being pressured. They really had a phase during the, like, after the initial early, like, after level 4, I want to say, especially towards level 7, level 10, where they really started to run the show here and where they made it incredibly difficult for Team Blaze to kill heroes. But right now, it's a very different picture that we're actually seeing here. Once again, the Owl coming in, Fan repositioning himself. Nice zoning. It's a 5 versus 4. You, on the other hand, you already zoned the first one out. Again, Divine Shield on Uther. Kenma is always extremely far out at the front. But then again, you have to, of course, consider that there's only Tyrael as a frontline. And Tyrael, in this case, was still a bit late to the party because he died earlier. So both of the teams channel an altar. It's trade, 1 for 1. McIntyre gets the heal, is very low. Again, they start to jump in. Ooh, but yeah, here comes the Skeleton Mages, and they go again for Tyrael. Nice Ancestral, keeping Muradin alive. Also, pretty cool Sanctification, by the way. Everybody's still alive here, but it really starts to feel like those double support for Naventic is not enough to keep them alive long enough, is it now? Oh, but if they get the kill against Zul, no, they don't. Shield used once again. Great play here. Rhaegar with the Earth Shield. B-Kid has to jump, but he's in cooldown. Oh, nice! Oh, wow! The god goes for the holy ground. That was perfect zoning. Like, it doesn't get any better than that. Like, that was really well done here by Erho. I actually like his Tyrael play a lot, I have to say. He was caught out of position like once, maybe at the top. And besides that, during the fights, like, his moves are spot on. That Ancestral earlier, sorry, not the Ancestral, but of course Sanctification was actually great. And now he's very low on his Sanctification again. They take the tower in the middle, and they could actually like even turn this once more. 8 kills versus 7 right now. We're at this point seeing level 18 versus level 17, and Naventic has really started to put themselves apart from Team Blaze again. In terms of damage output, we're still seeing like 80,000 versus Siege, 54,000 versus versus heroes from Greymane and Thrall. And especially, of course, Jaina, when it comes to like damage, dealing most of the damage on the side of Blaze. But look again at that Zul. 110,000 damage against Siege here already. That is absolutely incredible. At the same time, I want to highlight that we have now just another tower taken. This one in the middle was reclaimed by Blaze, but they still haven't taken the one down to the bottom, which puts us into a 5 versus 3 situation when it comes to the altars, the towers that are controlled. And we have 3 altars on the map right now. Nobody's going for the one at the bottom at this point, but we are seeing the team starting to fight over the ones at the top. And Thrall actually waited and moves down. Zuna is trying to channel one of them through, and yeah, it's going to be a channel versus channel, so the teams are going to fight over this one. But I actually feel that at this point it might end up in a situation where Naventic is going to lose heroes here. Thrall is getting the shots in. That's 5 against the core, but over here the fight is still starting. Or still continuing. Nice Sanctification again. They're trying to go for a kill, but they need to wait for Thrall. Thrall is there. Sundering is being used, splitting the team, but it's not strong enough. It didn't actually do as much as they were hoping for. And still they are going to lose Kenma. Ah, Kenma is dead once and again. Oh god, so at this point, again, well, B-Kid is there, the channel is through, 6 shots fired in total against the core of Naventic, against 5 that they were able to get in against the opponent. Zuna is gonna fall here now as well. Erho was trying to save him, but the problem is that without Uther, they just can't save them there. This is not enough. And that ended, like, that backfired hard. In this case, it was really a questionable decision to just like split Thrall from the rest of the team to get the altar in at the bot lane. I mean, they are now behind in experience again. Level 20 is going to hit faster for Blaze, and Thrall channeled, but he was never there fast enough. Boss taken. That's another 4 shots fired. That's actually like pretty sweet. Puts them down to 10. And also level 20 is at this point being hit. And with this, we are now seeing Bolt of the Storm for Jaina. We're having at the same time now also Rewind for Muradin. Now, after Rhaegar already went for the Earthgrass Totem, we are seeing now a double Storm Shield, by the way, taken for Tyrande and him. No rewinds on them. And besides that, it is now the Raised Mages. So that is going to be a pretty snowbally setup here for them. And I mean, how do you kill these guys? Seriously. If you have a double Storm Shield against you, how are you going to go in and take those guys down? In terms of like damage, by the way, we have level 20 now for both of them. Redemption is going to help Uther. Overall, 4 kills against Uther is a bit too much. They really start to focus on Kenma, and I mean, he was forced to the front line a couple of times where he fell, but in this case, it's definitely a problem for them. Without their healer, it's really tough for them to make something happen. It's an exchange in towers. Tower at the bot lane, tower at the top lane have been exchanged. It's still a 4 versus 4 situation. And of course, with this camp now taken, it could mean that shots are going to be fired against the core if it's going to move through. So that could definitely happen. That's a threat. And it's a triple altar move again. This one down here is going to serve a very similar purpose, by the way. McIntyre, he really needs to make sure that he doesn't die now. Yeah, that would be the worst case scenario. And already an attempt of our setup here. The Owl is in cooldown, but it's another 6 seconds, so Owl should be ready. Already Claudeus is taking care of this particular one. Keep in mind that these are also there, so it's the same problem that we're having, and they're trying to go for 2 channels. First channel on Fan, no Owl being used for this one yet. Yep, Rhaegar channeled the one in the middle. It's a good exchange, 4 shots against 4. They are fighting for this one up to the right side, and this is going to start to be important. Naventic is down to 6. Naventic is down to 6 points. Here come the skeletal mages, and we are going to see that fight unfolding right in front of us now. Divine Shield already on Thrall. He starts moving in again. They interrupt Claudeus. Here comes that oh, it's not going to work. No. Tyrael is down, tries to explode into them, and McIntyre and Kenmar, they're already on the run. This is going to be it. Yeah, the minions at the bot lane already moved through. Claudeus gets the channel through, and this is going to be game. The last few shots are being fired, and Naventic is down 1 game in the best of 3 series against Team Blaze. GG and well played. Blaze takes the lead in the series. Game number 2, everybody. Naventic versus Blaze, and Naventic, one of the favorites to go to the grand final, is currently, yeah, they are down in the series. And look at that. Are they going to ban Zul? The Zul respect ban, that would be, because so far Naventic in the tournament, in the round of 8, and also so far in the semifinals, they didn't care about Zul at all. They were just like, pick him? Nah. Ban him? He sucks. And after that first game against Blaze on Towers, they're basically saying, like, yeah, we're not going to play against that guy again. He's just too good of a setup for all of those other stuns that could follow. And, of course, also having, like, nice control over those fights with the Salad Mages, with also the Curse Strikes. So, yeah. Zul banned out, and Blaze is doing the same thing to Li Ming, which has proven to be one of the strongest heroes on the side of Naventic. Naventic, in this case, going for that Muradin first pick that we've seen now in the last game already, and also a lot by Cloud9. Naventic overall really, like, focusing on that. Blaze is going to try and like troll us a little bit with that early Cho'Gall pick, which is not going to happen. If you pick Cho'Gall, then it's definitely not going to happen at the first spot, because you allow your opponent to counter you way too hard. Especially on a map like Sky Temple. I mean, I suppose you could play a Cho'Gall here, but if so, you would do it later, and I also don't really think it's going to be the setup for that. Yeah, your opponent would just like counter you out hard. Anubarak, bam, go for Leoric as well, and you are toast. Blaze with a false stat. So false stat for mobility on the map. Keep in mind Greymane is around 2, and if Naventic gets the chance, they are probably going to use Greymane again. So Blaze, they focus on Rhaegar as one of their early picks here, at least they could. I mean, that would be an option. If you want to go into an early heal, Rhaegar is definitely like a very solid play, and they do. They had options to also like go into a couple of different heroes. We've seen priorities on Thrall, for example, as well. On this map, you can play with a Zagara, of course, too. But Naventic now very likely going to go into a Greymane. I guess there's a couple of approaches of how you could actually run this right now. Greymane would definitely be really nice for the range damage. It's something that they already played a couple of times, so that would be sweet. If you want to have a good bot laner, you can go either Thrall or you can go Zagara. Both of them would be very strong. So I think that Thrall is likely for Naventic. If not, they're most likely going to pick Zagara instead, because they have a strong bot laner. They get a lot of map control if they go for Zagara as well. But as I said before, she has been fallen off a little bit. Not in the sense that she doesn't get picked anymore, but like if you think about it priority-wise, like a few weeks back, she was like one of the first ones to be taken. And Greymane for the damage not being taken. Oh, Zeratul or Thrall, I would like that. I would actually like that, because Naventic has shown that a couple of times already during the playoffs, and I really would like that a lot. I like Thrall, especially together with Muradin. As well, even though there's of course a ton of heroes that can capitalize a little bit better than even Muradin on the Sundering, but still, Greymane for the damage is pretty sweet, and Zeratul over a Thrall, I like that a lot, because that's something that Naventic has shown a lot of times, and they are very, very strong with this. Blaze, of course, they have to think a little bit about how they're going to deal with this now, because, well, first of all, are you going to get a hero that gives you vision like a Tacita? Are you going to go for I don't know. I mean, you can go Rhaegar Farsight on level 7 if you don't feel that cleanse is needed. Yeah, Mirrodin and Tyrande is quite strong, so it looks like Blaze is not really willing to go up against that after they used that in the last game. I mean, it's a combo that has been around for ages, and it's a combo that has been specifically nerfed by Blizzard. That's one of the reasons why Cleanse got changed, and one of the reasons why Tyrande overall got nerfed as well. Not in her damage output necessarily, or what she adds to the combo, but more so like in not making sure that she's not like that jack of all trades anymore that has amazing healing power and at the same time offers a lot of utility for the team. But it's still quite strong. So a cleanse works very nicely against that. Rhaegar can go for that cleanse, but if there's no risk of running into a stun lock, then you might go for the Farsight instead. Tyrande is confirmed as the ban. And Naventic could now, of course, look at that. They're like, you want to get vision? Guess what? You're not going to get it. Tassadar is being banned out. Tassadar would, of course, been a good addition to Rhaegar as well if you're trying to go for like a Bruiser-style Sonya, if you try to go for a Thrall, or if you try to go for, I don't know, let's say Illidan. So any kind of like melee assassin bruiser type style would have really capitalized on a Rhaegar Tassadar combination. So Naventic is not only banning it out because of that, because of the vision against Zeratul, but also because of that. So it's like a pretty smart one. Two birds with one stone. Blaze, if they could actually play a Stitches, like we have seen Stitches before, Slam build here is probably the way to go. Stitches ETC. Okay, so hook into Power Slide, having a Slam build for potential slow then later. Yeah, Zeratul is going to have a bit of a tough time. Nice peel also. Falstad is going to be a lot safer with both of them around. The Thrall would work as well. You can go for Lockdown. I actually like both ideas. We've seen Stitches and ETC more in the past than we do now, but having like a hook and then having an ETC to immediately go for a Power Slide through the target and actually pushing it back even with the face melt does work quite nice. You of course need the follow-up damage then as well. And in this case, it would be likely that they were trying to like lock maybe a Jaina down. So yeah, they go away from the ETC though and put instead Thrall into play, which is still doing a lot of work with the Sundering as well. And of course you're having the Wolves that you can set up too. Yeah. For Naventic, we need a healer. And I mean, Naventic has actually shown a variety of healer here already. So I'm not sure what they are going to... I mean, with Tyrande and Tassadar banned, I really feel like an Uther might be the best part for them. An Uther or Charism. I'm not sure if they really would commit to a Malfurion again. They did that in the games before, but I'm not really sure what he's going to add to that combo. Greymane usually doesn't really have this heavy mana problems that he necessarily needs a Malfurion over anything else. Malfurion doesn't have the burst heal. They played it mostly against like Azul in the games before, I want to say. And if we're talking cleanse that they want against a Stitches hook, for example, then Uther and Charism both fit the bill. If they're putting someone else at the front line, and I feel like Charism would definitely be a good choice because they have like, of course, the added value that you get out of it. Brightwing didn't even cross my mind for some reason. I don't even know why, even though they played it before. But it's also that Brightwing is not a good solo healer. Brightwing is more like a healer that you add if you are going into a double support. Very few teams are willing to commit to a Brightwing as a solo heal, and it depends heavily on the setup. So Charism, I like that a lot for the reasons that I mentioned. I really feel he's a good choice here. He has the flexibility to go into a cleanse, and they're using potentially a Sonya. And that would also, of course, cater towards Charism, especially after level 16 with a Circle of Life. Having 4 frontliners or 4 melee heroes, that is great for Charism. And they are actually locking that down. So for Blaze, it's now a little bit different. They have damage on Thrall, they have damage on Falset, but they could commit to a Jaina here, theoretically. They could, when it comes to range damage, I suppose... I mean, a Jaina against Zeratul, you could go into a Frost Armor on level 7. Brightwing plus Rhaegar? Nah. I mean, Brightwing has been played with Stitches a little bit, but I feel like if they do that, they lack the damage. A Tannis Troll. I wouldn't put them... They go for Brightwing. I really feel they lack damage now. I mean, Stitches goes for a Slam build. That's more or less a given. Falset is there for damage too. And you have Thrall. But is that really enough damage to work with what they have? People want to see Bloodlust, of course, now. I mean, Thrall with the auto attack. Stitches Tenderizer, slowing them down. Falstad with the AA build. But I don't really feel that the setup that they have here really caters towards that well enough. And Zeratul has a disengage with the Void Prison, so it's not going to be... I would be really surprised by a Bloodlust here because of Zeratul. So we have double heal, Brightwing could maybe go into Emerald Wind if you want to isolate somewhat, but even that. The cool thing about Brightwing is vision. Let's be honest about that for a second. Brightwing is going to have amazing vision, going to go for Peekaboo in level 4. But besides that, I'm not 100% certain if they're really having the damage that they need to get the kills in. If they have to sustain during fights, that might be enough. But Zeratul is going to try and sneak onto False Side, probably with a Vortal Blades build over the Master Warblade, but still. It's an interesting setup. It's a really interesting setup, but I like Naventic's draft a bit more. Well, we're going to go into the game, and Blaze already in the lead, so let's find out if they can make it a 2-0, or if Naventic is going to force this into map number 3. So guys, let's jump in together and find out what's going to happen here on Sky Temple. Game number 2, everybody, between Naventic and Team Blaze. So in this case right now, we're having a situation in which Blaze, of course, could make it a 2-0 and advance straight to the next round here in the winners match, which would actually be the winners match, the winners bracket final. There we go. But for now, as you can see to the left side of the map, we are currently seeing Naventic with Zuna on Sonya, McIntyre on Greymane, Fan on Zeratul, Aho on Muradin, and Kenma on Karazim. And to the right side of the map, Team Blaze with Khaldor on Thrall, Big Impact on Rhaegar, Jason on Falstad, you on Brightwing, and B-Kid on Stitches. And damage is definitely going to be an issue on the side of the team in red. So they have to be a bit careful how they put the damage in. Especially since Stitches didn't even go for a damage build, but instead for sustain. Interesting. I really expected him with this setup to go overall for a completely different build and trying to put some damage on the table. Because right now it seems like the main focus with damage output is really going to be that Thrall and the False set. I'm not 100% certain if that's going to be enough. They are going to have great sustain here, but let's see how they're going to play that. For now we have a block on Thrall on level 1, not even a Chain Lightning, and this is getting more interesting by the minute. I'm really curious, like for now Zuna is actually, I mean you can always rely on Zuna. Zuna is down, and that might be the death of Fan. Yeah, the hook is nearly dropping him. McIntyre is about to go, wow, double kill right away for Blaze. Crazy. They get the double kill with the setup that they have. The triple kill, what's going on? Zeratul is dead. Kenma is saying like, alright boys, I got this. So at least they're taking Rhaegar down. But that's a 3-for-1 trade. That just was a 3-for-1 trade in the early game. Like, how does that happen? It was insane. And, like, the setup is actually not that scary for the early game. Yes, you have that hook, of course, but that landed really on point. We're seeing Warpaint taken, Wolfheart as the level 1 talent for Greymane. We're having at the bot lane now Brightwing going up against Zuna, and there's Reverberation plus Regeneration Master as the talents. But guys, this is getting a little bit out of hand right now. Already another big fight happening as the temples are up in the middle of the map, as you can see. And in this case, well, we're having B-Kid at the front with level 3.5. They're going to head into a level 4 so much faster. They're going to have the extra talent. And it is going to be pretty crazy. B-Kid is moving away right now. Brightwing jumping in, helping out. But again, the hook. No way. Kenma is dead, and this is level 4. And with level 4, they are going to have incredible, of course, like control right now. Already we're seeing Flow Rider, which has been a talent that has been chosen. If you don't want to go into Power Throw on level 4, then having this particular one is going to help you to get even more of your hammer ranks out. And that can be great for damage. So actually a bit of a damage increase. False is not going to be as safe as he can be with a Power Throw, but he's going to go with Gathering Storm plus Flow Rider to make sure that he gets a few more of these abilities out. And now we are finally level 4 also on the board for the opponent, for Naventic. And Naventic right now, they definitely need to make that, like they need to actually like really concentrate. Brightwing doing all of this, by the way, is at the bot lane and is just going for friend and still sounding like a frog on crack. But still, Brightwing is going to be there, and it will jump into the fight whenever needed. And that might be the case right now, and yes, indeed it is. Brightwing jumping in with a Peekaboo and the Vision. Zuna is there. Here comes the attack, and who are they going to focus on? They're trying to go for Fan. They're pressuring Zeratul. Zeratul is really low blood. Kadeus is down. Zuna is trying to get away. Big Impact about to fall. Naventic is getting their act together. Oh, as I say that, Karazim dies. Karazim dies, and so might McIntyre. Aho is also low. Oh, Jason goes straight for the attempted kill. And could we see a hook? Oh, the slam into the ground. Fly in even. McIntyre is getting away. But that was actually still 6 kills against 3 overall. It was an even trade up at the top. And we have a half-level lead for them at this point. So overall, I really have to say that Blaze is playing this so much stronger than I expected them to. This is insane. First reaction that I really had when I saw this draft was, where's the damage gonna come from? Let's look where the damage is gonna come from. So far, it's Thrall. It's Thrall, 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 and Thrall. At 10,000 damage, he's one of the best damage dealers in the game already, like second to Greymane. We're having them with like taking a few of those minions as well. The mercenaries have been claimed. But right now, to be absolutely honest with you, I feel it's really like the team coordination in these fights that we are seeing that is so much better for Blaze. Like they are really playing a strong one at this point. Level 7 talents for them, again trying to pressure Fan, and Fan feels the pressure, I can tell you that much already. I mean, like, he's trying to just escape there, but now it's 7 versus 7, and look at that pressure play down at the bottom. Top lane is being pressured too. Brightwing is in trouble. Not gonna fall though. Brightwing gets away, and down here, the big problem, of course, is that this well is the most of the sustain that you are going to have when the second temple is going to be announced. So an exchange, Fort top lane against Fort bot lane, is going to help you so much if the second altar or the second temple phase has not yet been completed. So this is a change that is definitely better for the team in red. Blaze is going to take that change any day. They are going to say, all right, this is totally fine. Look at that experience lead that they have. It's nearly a level. And that next phase on shrines or on temples is going to be great for them. It's already been announced. Level 7 talents now with a cleanse on both sides. We're seeing Charism with cleanse over the Echo of Heaven. And we have at the same time now also, when we're talking about Zeratul, Master Warblade taken as a level 4 talent straight into the follow through on 7. Besides that, of course, it's Boomerang for False Stat, Face Shield, and Last Bite now claimed. And guys, this is really one of these important ones. Down here already, Zuna and Kenma in position, but the red team is actually soaking them. They're just out-soaking them. They're not even going for it. This is like a choice that I'm not 100% certain why they make that. They lose a lot of the shots already, but they have the much better position to go for it. They want to have level 10, and I guess that's why they are still like waiting to really engage. But they're going to lose nearly all of the shots on the temple, and they lose Khaldor. Like, this was really... that was kind of misplayed. You're on a 4 versus 4 and you lose a hero for no reason whatsoever. You're not even engaging into the battle. If you wait for 10, then don't get jumped. 10 is there now. Emerald Wind on Brightwing actually chosen for disengage. Falstad flying to soak vision and also to make sure that they're having a shot at experience at the top lane. But yeah, that particular death didn't really help them. They still got the shots on the tower, the final ones, because they had level 10s, and in this case Naventic didn't really want to engage against it, which you can't blame them for. But still, this was one of the situations where they could have, I felt, make a bit more of a play. In the structural position, though, they are still in a massive lead. But now we have level 10, so the mid game started, and this is really when Naventic usually unfolds a lot of their pressure and a lot of their how dangerous they are, the threat that they pose to the opponent, especially with those Zeratul plays. So far, we have Kenma not committing to a heroic, and Palm would probably be pretty sweet considering how the last few minutes have gone for them. But still, sometimes against the Stitches, of course, if you get a good isolated 7-sided strike, it can be really nice. And especially the North American teams, they really love their 7-sided strike there. And that's also confirmed once more since we see exactly that talent taken. Fight is happening again, Brightwing jumping in, Vision is there, they see Zeratul, the hook is hitting nothing but in the empty air though. So, once more, poke from a distance. Brightwing always with a disengage potential, thanks to the Emerald Wind. Keep that in mind. So if they get the chance, they're going to use that. We have now also, in the same time now, another fort taken down. From a structural point of view, the advantage that we see for Blaze is absolutely incredible. They already took 2 forts down, and at the top lane, they are already about to like drop not only the gate, but also the second tower. Whereas here in the mid lane, most of the structures are still alive. At the bot lane, they suffered because the temple was taken earlier, but here comes that team fight. And a fight for the Siege Giant camp. Nice Emerald Wind, but not enough to keep it. Here comes Jason with a Mighty Gust, using that too. Ancestral is still there. Huge sustain fight. Oh, and the kill against Stitches. He was actually blocked. Great Void Prison. And that's exactly what we've been talking about earlier. The Void Prison is their, yeah, it's their downfall. First of all, the Void Prison isolates everyone but Stitches. They get the kill, and then it's also the kill against Rhaegar. The only saving grace for them is that they actually get the counter kill against Charism. That was important. That was pretty cool. That was really important for them. But overall, as the temples are up, of course, that's a lot of shots fired, quite literally, against them. But once more, they still are in the lead in experience. But now, well, another good thing is that, well, yeah, no, actually not. mean, right now they can rotate someone to the top. They're trying to aim for level 13, as you can already see, but this is going to be a close one. Naventic is, I think, realizing now slowly and steadily. I actually feel like I don't want to say that Naventic is arrogant or anything. I don't really get the impression from the players here. But let's face it, going into this tournament, everybody expected them to end up in the winner bracket final. And I feel like something like this, if like everybody like approaches the entire bracket this way from your fans and like talking about it, you believe that at some point too. And I feel like right now they really start to realize that if they don't really focus, they might end up, oh, the Stormbolt of Arrow just a bit too short, that they might end up dropping into the loser bracket. 13 versus 13 now in levels. Another fort eliminated over here at the top lane. And, well, we have both of the teams now with the next talent. In this case, it is the static shield. Nice, Zuna! Wow! Gets away. How did that happen? Oh, the Mystical Spear. He actually was able to get the Mystical Spear off. So Mystical Spear got that off. Wormhole taken. Burning Rage. We have On the Prowl. By the way, Insatiable has been taken as level 410. I haven't even touched upon that yet. Like this game has been really a bit of a roller coaster. Insatiable as the level 4 talent. So that has to be a misclick, right? I mean, why would you go for that talent? You are not going to run into mana problems that are this massive that you would actually give one of your talents off. Especially if you consider that so far Fan has played that hero several times here and has never taken that talent, but has really like stuck out with that cocktail build on 4, 7, and 16 every single game. That feels very much like we are seeing a bit of a mispick there. And I've seen that actually like a little bit too late on that, so I'm really sorry for that. We are seeing at the same time Shield Dust and Earth Shield once again claimed. The Spell Shield here as well. And guys, I'm excited for this game. Like I can't tell you how much. This is actually this is really fun already. Like just from that point of view how that game went so far. This is really, really fun. So once again, let's double check the damage real quick. Look at Greymane, already looking very, very strong here with 21,000 damage overall, 19,000 on Thrall. Falstad is at 17k, and at level 4 talent allows him, of course, to spam that about a bit more. Fan is going to try and pressure Falstad, so that's also going to negate quite a bit of that damage, supposedly. We're seeing at the same time now the team's aiming, or they're just like waiting right now. It's always the idea of like maybe taking someone down, and yeah, that could be the end of, okay, Emerald Wind used and jumping away. Oh, close! Oh, Brightwing is really cutting it close with these escapes. That's the second time that Brightwing just barely gets away. And yeah, that is a bit crazy. That's a bit scary, actually. Brightwing dies in these situations, you fall behind. But so far, if you look at experience, then Brightwing is actually doing a pretty solid job in EXP, Brightwing and Falstad. But Brightwing not really only used on the offlane soak experience, like all of the players are always rotating quite well to make sure that they get a bit of a lead in that. And of course, the lead right now, or the idea behind it, is get level 16. Make sure that you get level 16 in this situation. So, let's see. Over here, we have once again B-Kid and Big Impact. They are there. Jason, they're all in position, trying to like go for that shrine. Once they have 16 for the temple, and they start to move in now. Brightwing has, of course, gone for the Greater Polymorph. And we also have, at the same time, Pulverize now taken. Mega Smash, Pulverize. And let's see how they're actually going to use that at this point. B-Kid is already there. Claudeus as well. Jason, they're all on the shrine right now. They use the level 16. And they are trying, of course, to make some play with that. On the Prowl, on level 13, pretty much like standard 60 now. Could see the cocktail again, of course, with that extra damage. Once more, Erho is being attacked here. Needs to jump out. Oh, the hook only hitting a minion. So, yeah, so far so good. But it's an exchange. More or less an even exchange that we are seeing between like shrines now. Another problem is that we still have a bit of a play down to the bottom of the map, where we are seeing one of the camps moving in. Erho is already there, and he's starting to get very low here on that provision. We have Zeratul jumping in too, needs to move out. Pudric Bile on the ground, and so far it's a really nice spot actually for Blaze. Again, Erho, this time the hook hits, and they're going to go for the kill. Erho is about to fall. Here comes also the Sundering as a follow-up. Kenma is dropping too. They get a double kill, and that Void Prism is just too late. Fan can't capitalize it on it anymore. Really, really well done here. Level 17 versus 16. The 16 talents, of course, came into play fast enough, but they didn't really help them any longer. There's now the Concentrated Blast as well, and it's an immediate move straight for the boss. So right now, what we are seeing is Big Impact already like starting to go for the heals again. He didn't even have to use his Ancestral Ancestral in the last move. They have the Mighty Gust if somebody's going to jump in for this now as well. And we're having at the same time now also, as you can see, just an attempt to get more experience by Zuna and his boys, moving to the top lane, soaking some of the experience there. We're having already in the middle the boss already taken, and this is like a solid level lead that we see now. Level, like 9 kills against 6, 17 versus 16 the levels here. Both of the teams now on the same talent. By the way, Eric Gust has now been chosen as well, so that combos so well with the levels 4 talent. Of course you give up hammer time. That's a bit of a problem with that, but as you don't go for power throw anyways, it's alright. You're just trying to get as much of those boomerangs out as you possibly can. McIntyre has to move away once again, is already on the run, but still the camp has been taken, in this case by the blue team, but with the boss they're now starting to pressure this even heavier. They're trying to go through the wall and go for the first keep here, and they're actually in a really good spot. They have most of their heroics ready, and Zeratul doesn't have the Void Prison yet. Void Prison is not ready. Fan is looking for an opportunity to jump in at the side. He has another 8 seconds on the Void Prison. That's going to be one of the huge things here. But once again, this keep is nearly down. Void Prison in 2. He can use it once again. Here comes the Sundering. They're trying to go for the kill. But in this case, it's actually the keep that falls first. Now, of course, the disengage. Can they move away without losing anyone? Gust is already used, but Fan is there. Jumps in. Void Prison, not used yet. Doesn't want to waste it here. Kenma is also with the 7-sided strike, always ready. Again, Jason, he's out of mana. Jason is out of mana. That is a problem. They won't be really able to make a play there. And here comes the Void Prison. This is the setup that they're going for. And now just they try to stay enraged. Brightwing. Nice use here. Ancestral healing of Brightwing. Maybe a bit premature, but a nice Emerald Wind pushing them back. B-Kid, on the other hand, is in a bit of trouble, but they have the opportunity to move away once again. And actually 8 more seconds, and Jason is going to have another Mighty Gust. Not really in possession of enough mana, though. But they are moving away here, and this was actually like the disengage that they needed. 18 versus 17, Keep is down at the bot lane. This is a pretty sweet setup again for Blaze, but the game isn't over yet. Naventic is trying to make their way back into this. And this is going to become, of course, a nail-biter once again. They get the shots fired here with the altar, with the tower, with the shrine in the middle. But once again, here comes Blaze. Rhaegar isn't there yet, but he also, well, he's on a really high cooldown on his Ancestral. Here comes Theahor. They're trying to go for Cladeus. They're trying to go for Thrall. It's not working out quite nicely as they thought. Once again, here comes also Lightning Shield. Oh, Kenma! That didn't work at all! That didn't work at all. The 7-sided strike didn't do anything, and Muradin is already down there focusing on Kenma, and he's now dead as well. Oh my god, the hook against Zuna. Even with the spear, I don't think he's going to be able to escape. Yep, Jason can now move in any moment once again, and there's the slow already. They go for Zuna too. Jason trying to secure this as well. They can simply go for it. Jason already with a low, like he's just like flying around, but he's not really hitting anything. 19.5 versus 17, and they go for the kill. They go for the move down to the bot lane to go straight for the core. Void Prison is ready in 2, can buy a little bit of time. They can use the Void Prison there on the core, but that's already about it. This is looking more and more like we are going to see a victory for Team Blaze. They're looking strong here. 20 isn't ready just yet. 2 seconds until Muradin is back. G's already called. I'm not sure if Fan is ready to give this up, but he will have to. Void Prism can of course delay it a little bit, but that's already about it. He doesn't even use it, and that is game. Blaze wins against Naventic with a 2-0 victory, and Naventic finds themselves in the loser bracket.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is GG and the end of another series here on Khaldor TV with Heroes of the Storm. So once again, we have another video finished, and I hope that you enjoyed the commentary and that you liked the game, of course, as well. It was a pleasure casting the match for you. And if you guys really enjoyed it, then make sure that you give that video a thumbs up on YouTube. And of course, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, feel free to do that too. If you have friends that are interested in Heroes of the Sports esports scene, then definitely recommend the channel to them, or just show them the video if they want to see like a bit how the pros are drafting here, especially of course when it comes to the North American scene, European scene. And I mean, these days we even have a couple of Chinese games on the channel here, so I hope that you enjoy that as well. That being said, thank you very much for watching again. I'm going to see you guys next time with more Heroes of the Storm content here on the channel. Have a great day and enjoy your week, and see you soon. Bye bye.